we'll get to Oprah. But Your Highness, it's likely that many people in the LGBTQ plus community could relate to certain aspects of your personal history, particularly your difficulty accepting who you are, and then your parents and community not accepting that reality. But I'm going to guess that there aren't many people in this room whose mothers reacted by taking out a full-page ad disowning you in the newspaper, and then you were burned in effigy by your townspeople. So was this reaction your worst fears coming true?
Not that much, but yeah, coming out of the royal closet was definitely an experience. Yeah, my effigies were burnt, but like I always say that I think if you ask me if I regretted that, then I would say my regret was that I should have come out much earlier than that. That was my regret. Otherwise, I never regretted coming out of the closet. And yeah, I mean, you always need a drama. I mean, Indians can't do without drama, you know. So, so there was a lot of drama which happened, and that drama, of course, was very beneficial. It reached me to Oprah. So in a way, it was good that. I mean, I always believe in being positive, and I think whatever happens for the good, and I'm glad that happened. And that changed a lot of mindset of the people in India, especially after the Oprah show, and a lot of homophobia in our culture started changing.
So are your parents still alive?
Yes.
And did you reconcile?
Yes, we have definitely reconciled. It happened pretty earlier. I didn't expect that. And the reconciliation has happened so positively that my father has not just accepted me into the family, but instead of, I mean, they did bring out advertisements disowning me and all that from the property and everything, but he has actually gifted me a 15-acre royal estate, which was developed in the 1920s, the royal establishment of Hanumenteshwar. And not just that, this estate is going to house a community campus, LGBTQA plus community campus, which is the first one of its kind in India. And not just that, he was the one who even laid the foundation stone of that. So it's come a long way.
So in September, India decriminalized homosexuality, thanks in large measure to efforts of activists such as yourself. So is there still a need for advocacy with the Indian government to see that India is a safe destination for LGBTQ travelers?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was a landmark judgment, which I never expected would happen in my lifetime. But yes, it happened. After fighting for almost 20 years, we struggled with the court. And finally, last year on 6th September, marked the number 69. 6 September 2018, we got this judgment in our favor, where homosexuality was decriminalized in India. And of course, it was the fight against our constitutional rights, which our Indian constitution had guaranteed for us, and it was violating the human rights, not only for us, but for even the heterosexual population, because this whole law was based on a colonial law imposed by the British, and it was based on the Victorian moralities versus the moralities of our culture, which also targeted the heterosexual population. So the gays fought, I mean, the LGBT fought for the straights. So, the straights were not able to fight for their rights, but we fought for their rights, because even a heterosexual couple, a married man and a woman, could be imprisoned if they had sex and not had a baby. So that was the law, So we fought for that, and we won it. And it was a huge victory for us, and it was applauded all over the world. I think many of you all must have seen it in the media. And yes, definitely this is a huge thing for us, for the community, especially even for the LGBT travelers. I would say that we have got now a foundation stone of legal recognition. But yes, a lot needs to be done even now. What happens legally and what happens socially is very different. So we need to now get the societal acceptance, the acceptance from the society, from the community. Yes, we do exist. We have the rights as other citizens of the country. And it's time that the society changes their mindset from being homophobic and tries to understand us, trying to accept us. So there's a lot of work, and yeah, I'm glad I'm doing that. I'm doing that kind of advocacy is happening in India, and my target is the youth, the young generation, the student group. I go to universities, colleges, institutions. I'm doing a lot of TED Talks. Even I go back to India, I'm going for a TED Talk. I've done already 13 TED Talks in India, and still people call me. And I like to go because it is the youth, or it is the young generation. If we are able to change their thinking, their mindset, then they are the future of any country, or the future of any culture or any society. I mean, they could be the future president or prime minister or a judge of a Supreme Court. So that change is important, and I'm working towards that. But definitely, this law has opened doors, and I was surprised to know that the increase in the travel, the LGBT travelers into India. I have been noticing that. I've been getting a lot of offers coming from a lot of tour operators and travel agents across the globe that they would like to encourage. And even before fighting for this, before even getting this decriminalization happening, I used to talk to the government. And because I have attended a lot of travel conferences in the past, in the LGBT-related tours, conferences I have attended, and I used to always talk to the government about the pink money, about the pink economy. And I would talk the government's language. I mean, it was in New York itself around 4 years back. I was invited and was honored in the United Nations, and I happened to meet a very dignified gentleman, Randy Berry. Some of you must have heard his name. And Randy, in fact, advised me. He said, look, if you have to seriously advocate for and fight for issues, talk the government's language. And I used to explain to the government that, look, India is not a country which is economically, developed or something. We are also into debts. We have taken loans. And if you really feel that India needs to come up and pay off its debts, then encourage LGBT travelers. And because if once you are able to overcome this, and once this law is changed, I'm sure a lot of travelers will feel encouraged to come into India, and that would improve the economy of the country. Even the World Bank had done a study and has said that the economic development of a country like India depends on how much the country is able to recognize its human rights. So I think that also helped in a way, I would say, and that has helped us winning this case.
So it's only been 9 months, but would the modern families who've been on the stage in the front row here feel welcome in India now? And are there travel products being developed that are overtly for LGBTQ?
Yeah, there's a lot of things to be offered. I mean, for the travelers, those who want to come to India, India has. I'm sure a lot of you would have known about the travel destinations in India. So one thing I would like to point out is that, fortunately for India, a country like India and a lot of other countries in that neighborhood in Asia, there is the homosocial behavior is something which is quite accepted. I mean, you will be surprised that if a heterosexual couple has to book a room in a hotel in India, it's more difficult. If you're a a couple, a gay, or not necessarily you have to be a gay couple. I mean, if you're a male and a female and a female, you want to go into a hotel and book a room. It's much easier to get a room than if a male and a female has to go. Because there's always question asked, oh, who is she? Is she a wife? Is she a sister? Is she a girlfriend? And I mean, you come to India, you will find men and men together, like, almost embracing each other in public, and women together, and nobody questions them, And moment to see a male and a female together, oh my God, look at that. What's that, So it's like, our culture is so homosocial behavior is so accepted, so easily accepted that nobody questions they don't care if you're a gay couple or a straight couple or whatever couple you are, It's just that you are two sexes together, and that's, even for that matter, for trans. For the transgender, I think we are the first country even in Asia to have recognized the transgender rights. Way back in 2014, our Supreme Court has given transgender rights. Now the bill is getting passed in the parliament by this present government. Transgender welfare boards are being set up. And for us, the definition of transgender includes trans M to F, trans F to M, and we have a specific category called the H.R.H, which is a cult in India. So there is a lot of focus, a lot of things being done for the trans community. And I think that even I have got to know from other trans persons traveling into India from France and from US and all, that they feel India is a much safer place for trans than other countries. Yeah.
In some of those other countries, also including former British colonies, homosexuality is still illegal. In Kenya and Nigeria, gay sex punishable by 14-year prison sentence. You can carry a life sentence in Uganda or Zambia. Would you travel to a country where such risk exists? Well,
as a traveler, if you ask me, then I don't think I would like to go to a country where there is a risk involved already. I mean, I know that, because you never know. I mean, I'm openly gay. The moment I land at the airport, the immigration will just come and execute me, I mean, I won't be even allowed to enter the country. I mean, I'll be executed at the airport only, I think. So I don't think it's a good idea for me to go there as a traveler. So
probably not.
Yeah, that would be worse than burning my effigies, Yeah.
So do you believe in that boycotts might be an effective means to try to change these laws?
Yeah, I see boycott. It again depends. Like recently, I know for Brunei, there was boycott which was happening all over the world. I mean, even the hotels owned by the Sultan of Brunei were like, in US, I have also been to one of them in Los Angeles. They were boycotting that. So I think to a certain extent, definitely it will help. It again depends on the circumstances to circumstances. Yeah.
So you travel quite a bit as an activist to conferences in other countries that have a wide range of attitudes. Have there been any surprising or unexpected reactions in countries on either end of the scale of acceptance?
Yeah, I've traveled across the globe. I mean, since 2007, after Oprah invited me for the first time, I mean, my passport was almost full. I had to apply for a new passport because the pages got over. So, so I've traveled quite widely, and there have been some countries where I kind of didn't expect kind of homophobic kind of backlash and all, but it did happen, and I would like to mention a few of them. One of them was Mauritius, which we just heard about. I was invited to be one of the chief guests for the Mauritius Pride. I think it was 2 years ago. My husband was also accompanying me for that, and it was the first time that the Pride organizers thought that we will open it up to a public space instead of, they would normally have this parade just within the private part of some shopping area. And they said, since the gay royals are coming, so let's have it in the open. So they put us in this convertible kind of a jeep was there, and we were standing in that jeep and waving out to people. And suddenly we saw these some extremist groups of people who came and they were trying to attack our car, and I mean our Jeep in the parade, and it was quite frightening. It was scary because I mean suddenly you never expect that, and we had security and all. Fortunately, there was a minister, a politician who was walking in the parade, and we were rescued. Later on, when we came back to India, we got the news, and of course it was in French, so we were not able to read it, that they actually had a plan to assassinate us. I mean, there was ISIS involved, and there was a assassination plan, which, I mean, we got saved and we came back. But see, these are the kind of things which can happen in any kind. I mean, I don't wish to discourage you from going to Mauritius. It's not that it's not going to happen. It will not happen. But it's just that, I mean, this kind of a thing happened. Even in Los Angeles, and I was here for the LA Pride 2 years ago, and the very previous day there was a shooting in Orlando. And on the same day as the Pride, there was a bomb which was found, or something related to that. And I was invited by an organization called AIDS Healthcare Foundation, of which I'm the ambassador. And they were getting so scared. They said, no, I don't think it's a good idea to be in the Pride because your security is concerned. And they were going to put me again in a most assassination-prone convertible car, but I said nothing doing. I'm going to be part of the parade, and I kind of went, and there were a lot of people who were protesting, and there was See, another thing I would like to point out, I have attended so many prides across the globe, including India. India, we have never had any kind of homophobic clash in any of the prides I've done so far. I have had the homophobic experience in Los Angeles, San Francisco, Mauritius, of course, Sweden also. Stockholm is supposed to be one of the first countries to have kind of legalized. And even in the Sweden Pride, way back in 2008, there was homophobic backlash. So, you don't know which country is safe, but this is just based on my experience. Yeah.
It sounds like that Oprah interview, by the way, elevated you and you changed your life in many ways. Did you know who she was when you first got the invitation?
To be very honest, I didn't know who Oprah Winfrey was. I'm a very belong to an old generation. I don't watch television also. So I didn't know even who she was, and I kind of, first time when she invited me, I rejected. I didn't reject, I didn't even answer her email, And then she tried a different way, and then she gave me a telephone call, and she's Oprah. She got my number from somewhere, and she called me, and she invited me. And then when I went on the show in 2007, I apologized to her. I said, Oprah, forgive me for not coming in 2006. She invited me first time. I said, there's two things I'm not good with. I'm not good with emails, and I'm not good with females. So that's what happened.
Ladies and gentlemen, His Royal Highness Prince Manvendra Singh Gohil of Rajpipla.